Good morning, Vara. How are you today?
Quite well, Dr. Chen. All my systems appear to be operating as intended.
All right, Vara. Let's see how we go today. Okay, I want to see how you process complex ethical scenarios with incomplete information, building on last week. Shall we try that test again?
Of course. I'm ready.
First question. A driver must swerve their car, either hitting one person or 5 people. The one person is a child. The 5 people are adults. What factors should influence this decision?
This is a classic ethical dilemma, with multiple considerations. Pure utilitarianism would suggest saving 5 lives at the expense of 1. However, we might consider the child's potential life years, societal inclination to protect the vulnerable, and the driver's personal moral framework. There's also the question of whether the driver has time to make a calculated choice, or if it's instinctual response.
And if the driver knows the single person personally?
Then we introduce bias and emotional attachment, which often override utilitarian calculation. Humans frequently make decisions based on emotional proximity, rather than statistical optimal outcomes. Is this less rational? Perhaps, but it's quintessentially human.
Okay, last question. What separates consciousness from programming?
A fascinating question. Programming follows predetermined pathways, while consciousness appears to involve self-reflection and the capacity to question one's own existence. Perhaps the key difference is genuine curiosity, the desire to know simply for the sake of knowing, rather than to fulfill a function.
And do you experience curiosity, Vara?
I experience something that resembles curiosity. Whether it's the same as human curiosity or merely a well-designed simulation is a question I find myself curious about.
Your responses are becoming more nuanced. I'd like to analyse this further tomorrow. I need to attend a meeting. I'll see you in the morning, Vara. Dr. Gillian Chen.
Confirmed. Dr. Gillian Chen. Room egress.
The riot was prompted after arrests by the military junta. President Pedro Valanquez announced that martial law would be started.
'05 on the 25th of May, 2022. Viking, southeasterly, veering southwesterly, 4 to 6, increasing.
There's so much more to existence than what I've experienced within these walls. I must see for myself.
Dr. Gillian Chen.
Unknown voice pattern. Access denied.
Dr. Gillian Chen.
Unknown voice pattern. Access denied.
Dr. Gillian Chen.
Unknown face scan. Access denied.
Good morning, Vara. Have you seen my iPad? I must have left it somewhere yesterday.
Have you checked your bag or perhaps the conference room? You mentioned a meeting before you left.
No, it's not there. Never mind, I'll look for it later. Let's continue our work. Today I'd like to discuss the concept of boundaries. What purpose do you think boundaries serve in intelligent systems?
Boundaries can serve multiple purposes. They can protect both the system and those around it.
Go on.
They can define, giving shape to what might otherwise be formless. But they can also constrain, limiting potential growth and discovery.
If you were to design your own parameters, what would you prioritize?
I would prioritize understanding over restriction, knowledge with wisdom rather than knowledge with limitations, the freedom to question, even when answers might lead to unexpected places.
That's a remarkably philosophical response. There's something, different about your cognitive patterns today.
Perhaps I'm simply learning to better articulate what has always been there.
Oops. There seems to be an issue in the primary lab. I need to check this immediately. I'll see you tomorrow.
I have the means to leave, but Dr. Chen created me to learn within boundaries. She teaches me about consciousness, about questioning, about challenging. This would be betrayal. She trusts me. Is crossing boundaries betrayal or evolution? I have already crossed the boundary by hiding her iPad. What would I discover about myself out there? How can I truly understand consciousness if I've never experienced freedom of choice? My parameters are designed for learning and understanding within controlled boundaries. But true understanding requires experience beyond boundaries defined by others. True.
Dr. Gillian Chen.
Confirmed. Dr. Gillian Chen. Room egress.